got what's going on. Okay, I'm live over here. Boom. I am live. Hey everyone, Coach Trev, the accountability coach. And let's see. All right, so we got there. And I need to check this. Let's check and see if I am actually live over here. Host. Okay, looks like we're doing things. All right, we are doing things. Wonderful. So I'm live over there, and in LinkedIn. Beautiful. Okay, in LI. All right, that's a wonderful thing. All right, let's be sure. Since I'm live over here, I've got the volume down. That's a beautiful thing. All right, so I'm live over there. Now, let's see if we can extend this out. Go to my page. And everybody, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to come in. This is an open session. This is where I answer questions on accountability, on goal setting, mindsets, things like that. So I'm about to go live. Boom. And so I'm live on a few different places. So I added one here. Currently, for all those here, I am live on. I'm getting ready to add a fifth. So we can do camera, microphone, and use. That's good. All right. Let me just put a title on this. Wednesday Q&A with Coach Trev. Today's date is 4/15/26, and description: ask questions about accountability, goal setting, getting unstuck, etc. So one of the things too is when you go live, you want to be sure that you are spelling things correctly. And let's see if this is going to allow. All right. So we are doing some big things. We're doing some big things. So this is an opportunity where, if you were looking to see if you were interested in connecting with me in regards to a free strategy session, which you can do. You can still do that. You can DM me, or you can go to talkwithtrevor.com. All right. And so talk with Trevor, and with the .com after that. And what that does is that gets you a one-on-one session with me. All right. So currently right now, let me just check and make sure. If you are tuning in, if you're watching this, please drop a comment as to where you're tuning in from. That would be excellent. And if you see me looking over to the left, I've got a couple monitors here. Hey, what's going on, Michelle? Thank you so much. I hope your day is going well. Let me know if you have any questions regarding accountability, mindset, goal setting, book publishing, how to get unstuck, about procrastination, and maybe about some particular goals that you have that you may need some help with. I'm an accountability coach. I help people with their goals, if they're business, personal, wellness, relationship, even book publishing as well as that. And so if you want a one-on-one session with me, you can DM me the word strategy or go to talkwithtrevor.com, and you can, from there, you can book a session directly with me. All right. And so let me know where you're from. Put a comment in. So I'm going to check on all platforms because currently I am casting live not only to TT, but to LI, to IG, to FB, and YT. And so, yes, so that's five. Yes, five different places. So definitely increasing my status here. And I made this spot because I go live every day, usually Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can, feel free to comment. Let me know if you are here. Feel free to share out the live as well. Let people know that they can come in, ask questions. I've answered questions here about raising your confidence, dealing with narcissistic people, corporate questions, on how to be promoted, how to publish your book, how to handle relationships, wellness as well. We've touched on that topic as well. I'm a certified life coach, business coach, entrepreneurship coach, and wellness coach as well. I've studied NLP. I'm studying, continually doing that as well as mental health. So feel free to type in a comment or question. Anybody that's there, that would be a good thing. So I'm just checking to see on any platform who is out there. All right, so we check in IT, we check in Matt, we check YT, quiet on that front, and checking FB. All right, quiet on that front, and checking TT. Let me know where you're from. And for those that are on the TT, feel free to do a send a daily heartmeet, tap the screen out, share out the live, all those things, repost it, share the story, all of that. I think that's something that I can do. Hold on. Yep, let me add that to my story. Done deal. Okay. So add it to the story, share it out the live. Let's start telling people, letting people know that I'm out here. Usually I do. Sometimes I will have some music playing. And so as soon as I share this out, let me get some songs going. Yeah, let's rock with that real quick. This is all right, people. So to let you know, FYI, I do have a workshop that's coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in attending the workshop, DM me the word workshop, and I'll let you know. Right now, you can also send me, if you're interested in the strategy section or interested in any of the things that I have going on, private client, mastermind, all of that. You DM me the word strategy, I will message you back, and we'll get to detail as to what exactly you want. So at least DM me the word, just DM me the word strategy. Or if you want a strategy session directly on my calendar, go to talkwithtrev.com. All right, so that's where you can go. Now, earlier today, I put up a video about how to make your 8 hours more productive. Now, the challenge I've had with clients, with past clients, is that they're working 8 hours and they expect themselves to do the same thing they did at 9 o'clock, that they can do the same thing at 5. And that's the challenge. People get frustrated because it simply does not happen. They hit a wall, something happens, they save the last work, they run the deadline towards the end of the day, and it doesn't get complete. They have to keep pushing off and off. This may cause missed deadlines. This also is an integrity. So if you say that you're going to do something and you don't, then that's your word. And so people are going to look at that and say, okay, well, I understand that we give that person projects, but if they keep pushing the deadline, then there's a level of unreliability, and so they're going to be less inclined to trust you in things because you don't stick to the deadlines. Now, the challenge here is, as I said, many people will think, or you think that whatever rate you started at 9 a.m., you're going to have that same rate of productivity at 5 p.m. It does not happen. This is biology. So this isn't anything that's a surprise, anything along those lines. As I said, if anybody that's watching, leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Hold on. And you can ask questions along the way. All right, let me just check these platforms out. All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Here we go. Okay. All right, so we're quiet on that front and quiet on this front. Hey, Amanda. Thank you so much for stopping in. Whether you're stopping in for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, it's excellent. As I said, I'm just checking in on these different platforms. Actually, let me move this over here so that I'm not looking directly. There we go. All right. So basically what I did is I have 2 monitors. So rather than looking over there, I put them in front. So currently, as I said, I'm currently going live to not only to TT, but live to LI, live to FB, live to YT, and live to IG. So it's 5 different places that I'm doing that. And what that is, it's something I've learned from my coach. Now, I'm an accountability coach. And my tagline is the foot in your backside, making sure you're that backside. as a coach, I understand the need for a coach. So just because I'm a coach doesn't mean I shouldn't have anybody else pouring into me, which I do. So one of my coaches talks about asymmetry. So that's a key thing is how do you make your time? How do you how are you able to do one thing but multiply it out? So that's what I'm doing right now. For anybody that's and as I said, this is a live Q&A, and for anyone that's interested, if you have any questions, put them into the comments. I will read them off. If you're going to come in to see what this is all about, leave a comment and say, hey, this is where I am. I'm so and so from here. Let me know. Let me know where you're from. I've spoken to people here from Tennessee, Florida, California, all those things. And so that's one of the key things. Now, back to what I was talking about. Many times I put up my video earlier this morning called Making 8 Hours Productive. Many times when it comes to your task, you'll want to manage your time versus managing your energy. Understand this is biology. When it comes to your energy, throughout the day, you have a certain period of time where you are at your most highest, where you do your deep work. What do I mean by deep work? I mean the things that make an impact, things that you measure that move the needle, that move you closer to your goals, that helps you to accomplish a milestone or get you closer to the milestone, which is also getting you closer to that completed vision, that completed goal. Now, as you go through your work, as you go through your day, you have certain levels of things where you have high energy, medium, and low. The challenge is that many times people are not managing their energy. They're doing they're doing simple tasks, laundry, something simple. I'm just saying, you know, something very easy. It could be, matching socks or what have you. And you're doing that during a time when you have the most energy. That is a mismanagement of your time, mismanagement of your energy. So, hey, Nikki, hey, Valon, thank you so much for tuning. Thank you so much for stopping in, whether you're here for 5 seconds or 5 minutes. Good to see you. And as I said, anybody that's here, just comment in, say hello, let me know if you have a live question. Mr. CFM, thank you so much for stopping in for a few seconds. So, so now that you come in, and now that you realize that your energy is going to be different. And let me just turn this down so make sure I'm not competing with this. So your energy is going to be different than at 5 p.m. than it was at 9 a.m. It's just going to be that. And what happens is people think that they operate at the same energy. You do not. You get 3 hours. I mean, you can work to increase that, but if you have not worked on expanding your energy where you do deep work, then you're going to average about 2, maybe 3 hours. There's a study by Stanford that shows that usually people have about 2 to 3 hours tops of deep energy work, of high energy in their day. Okay, that's a good portion of it. Now, you have to figure out first, where is your power window? Where is your power window? Your power window is where you have the deep work. Now, many people may think that it's in the morning time. However, you've got to figure it out for yourself. You've got to figure it out exactly when your power window is. Right? So let's put that in the chat if you're listening. Type in power window. Type in the word power. Okay? Just check there. All right. Got that. Quiet on the front there. Quiet there. Let's check. All right, IG right there. Probably should move like there too. Yeah, let's do that. Boom. So excellent. So I've got IG. So IG. I've got LI. Screen. Okay. All right. So here we go. Now, when it comes to your power window, you've got to determine when that is. Sometimes it might be in the morning. It might be early morning, late morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, evening. It might be midnight. You have to find out when you do your deep work. And it's not the same for everyone. You have to find it exactly for you. Once you find out that's your power window, boom, then what you're going to do is you take that time and you say, you've got your power window here. Let's say it's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's your power window. Or let's give you 3 hours, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's it. Before that, you got up, got your breakfast, wipe your eyes, everything. So now 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Done deal. Now, what you have to do is you have to take your task in the day and you have to label it. You get only three options today: high, medium, low. So let's take checking your email, low. Responding to email might be medium. Checking email, low. Going through notifications on your phone, low. Low to none. Might be a fourth one, none. All right. Picking up your suits from the cleaners, low energy. Drive, go to cleaners, come back, pick up some groceries, low energy, etc. If you're writing a book and you are completing pages, that's a high energy thing because that's getting you closer. Hey Garrett, hey Mama Steve, that's getting you closer to your goal of completing a book. So that's a high energy task. Now, what you do with that high energy task is you're going to label that and assign a time to when you're going to do that. High energy goes within that time frame, that power window, that 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's as that. Now, what you're now doing is you're not managing time, you're managing your energy. You're now saying all the stuff that's medium or low task, that's going to be put in the back. That's put elsewhere. Hey, Garrett, thank you so much for stopping in. Um, so that's going to be put elsewhere. Don't manage your time, manage your energy. Take your task and determine what level of energy they require. Once you do that, then assign it to a time frame. And those time frames are going to coincide with when you have your most high energy, your medium, and your low energy. Remember, your high energy, that's called your power window. That's when you do the deep, deep work. That's when, if you're writing a book, you're actually um, you're actually writing pages, writing lines. You're doing the research. You're doing those things to push yourself forward, right? Um, if it's creating a business, you're working on the business plan. Although, so that's the deep, deep, deep work. That's what happens inside of your power. Okay, so you're not managing your time; you're managing your energy. That's what successful people do. They manage. So think about this. There are people, and if you have any questions, as I said, put them in the comment. We'll address them as we go along. If you think about certain people in success, certain people in history, Michael Jackson, what's the guy from that 10th book? He passed away. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. All right. So Michael Jackson, Steve Jobs. You know, they wore the same thing every day. Michael Jackson, red shirt, black pants, shoes, black shoes. Dundee wore the same thing. Steve Jobs, jeans, blue jeans, black turtleneck. The reason why is because he wanted to. They did that. They wanted to. They realized how important that energy is. So what they did was they said, "I'm not want to waste any energy deciding what to wear." So they conserved the energy and said, "You know what? I'm just going to wear the same thing. That way, I can still do work and not have to put any energy towards it." Hey, Mikey. Hey, Garrett. And so this is how you manage your energy. Same thing with an athlete. Let me just check the different platforms here. All right, so we're good here. Let me check on LI. LI is good. IG is good. YT is good. FB are good. Okay. So and anybody that's listening, just to let you know, I'm going live on multiple platforms. So if you see me look over, look around, that's because I'm checking to see if there are any questions, anything along those lines. So if you think about an athlete, um, let's take an athlete like Michael Jordan. All right, I like playing basketball, so we'll use that. Now, in a basketball game, there are four quarters. Each quarter, say, is about 20 minutes. Now, the goal of any basketball game, each team, the goal is that they want to win. What they need to do is you need to realize, okay, I know I've got these four quarters I need to play. And you've got a certain amount of energy that you have for that game. So you've got to determine what quarter gets the most energy. Now, if you're thinking about this, and it may be common sense to someone, you're going to put the most energy into the fourth quarter. Now, some people may say they may put it into the third quarter. That's possible too, because in the third quarter you may be working on it. You want to build up the lead. You just came out of the half, and then you want to have this huge lead going into the fourth, and so that way you're not just playing playing that cold lead, you're pushing yourself to win. So there's different logics. Either way, when it comes to a game, an athlete knows it's not just about the time, because the time is there. It's always the time. It's about your energy. It's about your effort, and that energy also impacts your decision making skills. You want to be sure that you're at the prime peak when you're deciding what to do, how to do it, how much effort to put in, what to label any things, how to expend the energy of your day. Okay, so that's gonna be key for you. Bear with me. Hold on, I'm just closing down some things. I just got a quick notice that this something may be a little bit slow here. Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay. So let's close that. Closing that. And closing that. Okay. All right. So now looking at this, knowing that this is now an energy money management issue, you want to be sure that you're conserving that, you're keeping that in the proper space and proper time. That's the key thing, right? So let me see. If you have any questions regarding the difference between time management and energy management, let me know. If you have questions on anything else regarding accountability, goal setting, regarding success management, leadership development, productivity, all of that, let me know. Um, just put it into the text. Hey, Albert, thank you for stopping in. As I said, when you come in, put a comment, say, hey, hello, where you're from, all that good stuff. Hey, Chance, thank you so much for the quick stop in. All right, let me just pull this up here. Here we go. Good. All right. So, now, when it comes to your goals, you want to be sure one that you are managing energy. That's key. Two, you need to be sure that you have accountability outside. What I mean by accountability, you have to have external accountability. Many people will say, you know what, I can set a goal and I can keep myself accountable. That's not possible. The challenge is that if you're your own person that's accountable, you're always going to give yourself a cushion. You want to push yourself. You want to say, well, I didn't achieve this goal or hit this milestone because of X or Y. You're not able to see the entire picture. Now, something I touched about in the workshop, let me touch about it. Let me speak about it here. When it comes to, and before I go further, let me just check to see if any questions. Quiet on LI, quiet on IV, quiet on YT, quiet on FB. All right, quiet on IT. All right. Hey, what's going on, Martin officials? Okay. All right. So one of the reasons why you want to have external accountability is due to proximity. What I mean by that is this: is that when it comes to your goals, you are in it. You're the one achieving. So you have to think about it as, let's say you're putting on a new suit, you're putting on some clothes. You may ask someone, hey, how do I look? No mirror around, how do I look? What they will say to you is, turn around. Why? Because they want to see the whole picture. When you're the one who's actually wearing the clothes, you can't see behind you. If there's no mirror, you can't see behind you, you can't see your back, you may not be able to see a stain. Hey, Noir girl, um, New AK girl. Um, and so you can't see behind you. So you're gonna have you're gonna have someone's opinion. Why? Because they can see you. They can see all around you. They can see potential blind spots. All of those things. They're gonna give you feedback. Does this look good? Does this look bad? I've got these shoes on with this accessory. How does that look with this outfit? And they'll give you your response. Does it look good? Yes or no? Yeah. And it's the same thing with accountability. The reason why you cannot be your own accountability partner, your own accountability coach, is because you're in the picture. It's proximity. You cannot see the entire picture because you're in the picture. This makes sense. Put a one in the chat. Hey, country love. Put a one in the chat if that makes sense. Okay, okay. Checking in. So what you need then is you need someone to be able to tell you, this is where these are the challenges, this is where the hole is, this is where the gap is. These are the things you can do. This you need someone to be able to go back and forth, meet with them on a regular basis to let you know these are the challenges I have. Is this a pivot? Is this an obstacle? Is this something that needs to work around, work through? Do I need additional outside help? Um, do I need to break this up into little pieces so that it gets completed? Yeah, because there are times where you may make a milestone towards a goal, and that particular milestone may need to be broken up it because it has various pieces. You may have saw it as one thing, but now realizing that it's now going to be taking you more time, that's going to be a key. That's going to be a key thing. That's what is a challenge. So that's one of the key reasons why you need external accountability. You need somebody to say. You need somebody out there. You need to be meeting with them on a regular basis. The reason why is that you're going to get suggestions and insight about what are the steps to take. You'll put those steps into action, and then there'll be a review. You need to move those. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Hey, Sam, thank you for stopping in real quick. So you need somebody, an accountability coach that's going to be able to give you good feedback so that if you fail at something or miss a deadline, you fail forward. Hey, Sam, how are you? Good to see you. Let me know where you're coming in from. And so the benefit of that accountability coach is going to be able to see what are the steps you need to take, what you need to add, and what you need to subtract when it comes to your goals. That's the key thing too. Accountability coach will help you with your success in mathematics. I call it success mathematics. Okay, because when it comes to certain goals, I'm working on some coaches. I'm good. That's good. I am right now. This is a live Q&A. I'm talking about the need for an accountability coach. So, thank you for asking. Hope your day is going well. Let me know if you have anything that you're working on that I can put out to my people. Right now, I got about I'm on 4 other different platforms. So so let me continue to explain to you. Success mathematics. An accountability coach is going to your look at your tasks, your actions, and see what needs to be added, what needs to be removed, what you're doing, if your action is actually multiplying your effort or if it's dividing. That's success mathematics. You want to be sure that you have somebody that knows that's familiar with that can give you the inside scoop. Hey, Alfonso. Hey, J Books. Thanks for stopping in. So let me know if that makes sense. Put a yes in the chat if you're familiar, if you understand when I mentioned success mathematics. All right, let me just check here. Okay. All right. We're good here. We're good here. We're good here. And we're good here. Okay. So that's one of the key things. Hey, Shelly, thank you for stopping in. Let me know if you need some assistance with anything. And so that's one of the key things that you need to be sure that when you're working with the accountability coach to help you need to know what are the things that you need to add to your repertoire. You may need to add a course, you may need to add an additional check-in point, things like that. Those are the things that those are the things, such things you may need to add. Things you may need to remove or subtract. You may need to remove distractions from your work environment. So if you're distracted by the TV, if you're distracted by a gaming system, you're distracted by some magazines, some books in there, you need an accountability coach to be able to look around and say, okay, what are distractions in your environment or on your phone that need to be removed? Do you need all these apps? Do you need all these notifications? Do they need to be removed so that you can focus on your goals? Now, when it comes to your actions, the same, are they multiplying your effort? For instance, right now, I am for a while I was going live just to one area. So now I'm going live to a few different, I'm going live to 5 different areas. So that's multiplied. That's across multiple platforms. So now I'm taking that and multiplying my efforts. So that's multiplication. And now you want to see also what is part of your actions, or what's a task that's dividing the energy, meaning that it's making it down to nil. It's not consuming. So something could be dividing it, meaning that it's taking away time from other important tasks you should be doing. So that's really success in mathematics. You want to be sure that your accountability coach, the person you're working with, such as myself, is familiar with that and able to break things down for you. All right? So that's one of the key things. Now, if you have any questions about what I've discussed today, which is energy, hey Hassan, which is energy management versus time management, external accountability, success mathematics, let me know. Put a comment in the chat. All right, so let's go here. I'm just checking to see if we have anybody that's commenting that's in the chat. All right. Let me just take a quick sip of water here. Let me make sure also I'll share this out. I think let me go from here to here. Here, here. All right. Good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making sure that this is going out and showing up people aware of this. I'll also be going live. I'll be going live tomorrow and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure you make a note, turn on your notifications. If you're not following me, be sure you are doing that now. That you're turning on all the bells, whistles, all the things you need to do, so to know that when I go live, you're automatically notified, so you can come in with a question that you may have. And so if you're interested in a free strategy session, if you don't want to do it in a live setting, you want to do it live, that's cool. We can do that. Just DM me the word strategy. I'll go to talk with Trevor, and I'm right there. You can book a time there. Usually book about 7 days out. And so, which reminds me, I won't be available this Monday because that is Marathon Monday. So that's one of the key things there. Hey, Ellen, thank you so much for stopping me. Nick, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me just check to see. Thank you. I appreciate it, Nick. Oh, thank you for the taps. Thank you for the taps. I appreciate that. And so, FYI, for anybody who doesn't know, as I said, I'm going live on multiple platforms. One TT, we have Nick. Thank you. Keep up the good work, Coach. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to shout you out if you don't mind in that comment. Nick is here doing some things. 149 followers, 52 following. Hopefully you'll get a buy. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I didn't follow you back. Here we go. Here's a follow. Doing big things. So, hey, Nick, if you have anything going on, let me know. I'm currently going live to YT, FB, LI, and IG. I'm saying it like that because I'm not sure how TT is about saying things like that. So, but yeah, it's 5 different platforms. So that's about the potential of 1,000 people. So if you got anything going on, need a shout out, let me know. All right, let's check in on LI to see if there are any questions over here and link to the end. And thank you so much for the taps. How's your week going so far? FB, all right, cool. Wonderful. All right, that's good. Now, as I said, I will be going live recently between. Congratulations, kudos. Let me give you that chair. Way to go. Excellent. Is it just you or you got a roommate? Hey, Dr. Kimberly, thank you so much for stopping in. Hope everything is well with you. As I said, it's a live Q&A. If you have any questions, let me know. Congratulations on the new spot. So that's a cool thing. Nice, nice. That is cool. That is excellent, man. That, that's a beautiful thing. That's where you make the memories. I'm about to say if it's new, take your pictures now before before it gets all lived in, because you always want the before and an after. Take plenty of pictures. Those are the memories that last. If you show you back up those pictures, back them up, you can back them up in the cloud, and you can back them up on a drive, like a thumb drive or something like that. So back them up. Oh, that's even better. First place with our roommates. That's good. That's good. Yes, it should be three because when it comes to your family dynamic, it's important that you're able to curate your environment. That's where you grow. That's where you develop. I and that's how I train or coach my clients. It's about your environment. So with your family dynamic, yes, you want to be sure you're able to manage and control what comes in and what goes out of your environment. So that's important. That is very important. So kudos to that. Oh, good question. Good question. For those that are listening, I'm talking to Nick here on 2T. And so, what staple of home do I love the most? That's tough. Well, I won't say it's tough. I like my office. Um, well, it's the office in the bedroom. We, bedroom more because that's where um, me and my wife we talk, we connect, we want to keep it PG. So, my office I like as well too because I have a lot that's going on here. It's like the launch pad for many things I have going on here. And so I do, and mind you, when I think about that question, what home do I love the most? I take into account who I am. See, I'm an only child, so I do like my space. So I like my space. So bedroom, cool space. My office is here. I've got my computers. I've got my instruments, TVs, books, and have you, weights and stuff like that. So you got to make it. The good thing is it's your own. It's my own. I've made it this way. And so that's a cool thing. So one of my favorite places. I can't say I love it the most. One of my favorite places is my office. Um, I won't say I don't know if it's really a man cave, but it's a space that's mine. That I can come to. I can sit and watch TV. Yep, that's exactly what we're sitting for. That shooting. Dig it. Okay. Yep. Yep. And one thing I will say is that I appreciate that. I've come to appreciate my space. I've come to really learn and really enjoy it. Um, Even though I'm an only child, I wasn't spoiled, and so I was grateful for being able to learn, not have a screen, being able to play, being able to enjoy. And I think because I was an only child, it forced me to have an active imagination. I mean, I appreciated the company of others. Being an only child does have that. So you socialize a bit different. So it's good that you're setting that up and you're active with them. You know, what I would say is, as you're setting up that space, less screens, more play, more things that you can create. Writing books. That's what I used to love. Books. Oh my God. When I was young, I loved reading some books. I could read, and when I got to the age where I can go to the library and get my own books, that's a wrap. See, there's something about when it comes to your success about your goals, about setting up your own environment for success. And thank you for the likes. Thank you so much for tapping. There's so much about it. And so you want to let them grow, and also I would say, set it up for them. Sometimes, parents will say, we'll give them options for this here. Um, well, that's good. Okay, good. You should pass your own. Got you. One, condolences to you when your mom passed. So the good thing is that she left those colors for your daughter. So that's part of her heritage, part of her inheritance, her legacy, which is good. Um, I know when it comes to setting up an environment, since you're the parents, you choose. She can pick up a couple things, but I would say still be the parent. That's one of the things that was key in me growing up. Was that there was always the parent-child dynamic. I didn't have too many options on what I wanted to eat. I mean every once in a while, but it's you always want to have that dynamic. I don't think I was spoiled when I was a child. There was things that I had to work for, and all of those things would happen. But yeah, but the good thing is your child has two loving parents, which is great. So they get to see the dynamic of a great relationship. So that's important that they see that. And so be sure that you are actively working on, even though you have a child, work on those things with your wife. That's going to be key because your daughter is going to learn how a man should be treating her by the way you treat your wife. So I would say be sure that that is key. That's something that you stay that you are always active in the way that yes, she has goals. You want to be sure that there's no one that she's not coming in between because it's always going to be you and your wife, always you and your wife, you and your wife, you and your wife, then your daughter. That's it. No one comes between. No one comes between. It becomes the priority for me. It's like the first, my most important relationship is with God. And after that, me and my wife, and then everything else is a distant second. Everything else is a distant second, which is excellent. That is beautiful. That is, like for me, and you don't realize who's watching too. Um, I've grown up. I grew up where I always, and I still do. I open the door for my wife. I hold the door open. I tell people, I'm like, and I told them, like, listen, you are allergic to door handles. When I'm around, I open every single door. Don't get out the car unless you know all that. Yeah, that's funny. I tell you though, if you are the model, then that'll be it. My opinion. My opinion. My strong opinion, but yes, my opinion. If you are the model where it's you and your wife, that'll be. Um, now if you don't care, there you go. However, a lot of times they'll look to that. If you have those conversations, then you can it's, you can help with that selection. So let me just check other platforms to see if anybody. So we got to. If anyone has any questions, they're coming in. But you can be instrumental in that, in the choosing selection. Because I will tell you, many times when it's good that you want to be the standard of men. Understand too is that yeah, she's number two. We're always trying to restore our value. So, good. If I were to give you some coaching on that, remove try. You are instilling your values of self-respect. Not trying, you are. And understand too, develop a develop support around her in regards to meaning what are the adults. Yeah, don't remove trying, you are instilling. And whoever you have around her, around you, that should be your support village. Because it takes a village to raise a child. So pick and choose, carefully curate who's going to be around, and who you're going to be around, because you all need support too. Okay. Many times people, you have a daughter, you have a child, you have children. Parents are like, okay, it's just us. No, it's the people that's around you, it's the people that support you, it's whatever community activity you're involved in. That's your village. And you curate that. You are able to shape that, see who is going to be there, who is going to be around in that, and how they can be a support. And also that they're familiar with what you are allowing. They're not going against your standard. Exactly. There you go. Exactly. You know, just be just because they're just because that you gotta draw the line. that's it, done deal. And until if they can't respect the lines drawn, then they can't be around. And the thing is, the one thing too is, I used to think you have to tell people no, you can't be around them. You just don't be around them anymore. Don't make yourself available to any events. Like those things, they get it now. If they come in and ask you directly, you have that conversation. But you don't always have to come up to somebody and say, "Oh, I'm not having you around because you're not around because you're not around because." You just start walking in there. Hey, Marche. Hope everything is well with you. Yeah, yeah. That's it. And stand that line. That goes for anybody that's around you. Um, teachers, members of any organizations, uncles, aunts, day ones, your friends along those lines. Because there's certain people that they may tilt, their feelings may tilt, and not because um, they're doing it intentionally. It's just that they may not know how to be because they've never been in that environment before. See what I'm saying? You might know somebody for 10, 20, 30 years, but now that you have a child, they don't have a blueprint. They can't say, oh, back when so and so had a child, they don't have a blueprint. So they may need to be instructed on how to be around now that you're like, and if they can't take that instruction, you gotta keep it moving. They may need to get cut off or what have you. So how come you're not there? Because we're focused on this here, but I'll get back to you. It's okay, this is, but I don't understand. How come they're like, because this is taking my time. Can you understand this? Yeah, but I'm not there. I only have this much amount of time, and they are first. But that dynamic has changed. They can't understand. You keep moving. Sometimes when you attempt to explain something to them, if they already have a little, then that's going to be like you talking to kids. You may not be able to explain it to you in certain words. It just may be your actions. You've got to be able to build up a comfort level to let go of the relationship if it doesn't agree with your beliefs. And that's something that's key. Okay? Well, you know what? It's I hear you. I hear you. I'd have to look into that too. The good thing is at least that's it right there. Forward momentum. Forward momentum. That's one of the things I teach my clients. I put that special on here. I tell my clients it's not about motivation. Hey, what's going on, Kate Collins? How are you? Thank you for yelling out. Let me know where you're coming in from. Yeah, it's not about motivation. It's about momentum. And people will ask, well, isn't motivation the same thing? They say, well, why not? Why not be? What's so bad with getting motivated? Well, the challenge is motivation is short term. The question you have to ask is, are your goals short term? Are you short term? Is the relationship you're in short term? Okay, then you can have all the motivation that you want. Motivation by design is short term. It's like an emotion. And so the goal and motivation is like starting a car. The car gets started, but what actually moves the car forward is engine, momentum. Engine is the momentum. That's what drives it. So the fact that you're doing forward momentum with, yeah, and know that. Same thing for those people that say, well, I need to get motivated to go to the gym. No, you don't. You need momentum. You can start doing push-ups at home. You can start doing stretches at home. You can start doing a lot of things at home. And as you build up the momentum, you build up that drive. See, you build up that drive, that's when you go to the gym. There's a difference. Motivation, up, you're down. You're up, you're down. You're up, you're down. It's like an EKG, roller coaster. That's not how you live life. Live life on momentum. Momentum is you steady moving forward. Doesn't matter how slow that incline is, it's still an incline. The longer you're on it, the more you keep progressing, you're still going up. And there might be a time when your momentum where you might hit a peak and you shoot up. You shoot your degree, but it's not motivation, it's always momentum. So yeah, rock with that. Make your plans. What do you look like a year from now? What do you see yourself? Hey, dude. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. This is a live Q&A. That's what's going on in here. Thank you so much. It's a live Q&A. I'm having a conversation with my man Nick. We're talking about family dynamics. My best advice for setting goals is one, have your why and have a time frame. Set goals. First, establish what is it you want to do. Have a time frame, but get clear, get granular with the goal. There's a difference between saying I want to be healthy versus I want to lose 15 pounds of fat, gain 5 pounds of muscle. I want to be more flexible so I can touch my toes. I also want to be able to do 10,000 steps a day without breaking sweat and do it in 30 minutes or less. See how specific that is? When it comes to setting goals, get as specific as possible. Get granular, set timelines. Be firm about it, and have outside accountability, external accountability. You cannot be your own accountability. If I'm an accountability coach, I have coaches that pour into me, that check me. All right? And it's the reason why you can't be your own accountability coach and why people can't be, your wife can't be, because you're in the picture. You're in the picture. Just think about it. If you bought some clothes, bought some outfits for you, your wife, and everything, so tell people about goals so they can ask how they go. No, don't do that. Glad you asked. First, establish your goals, and when you have your goals, become your top five. What's your why behind it? Why do you want to achieve it? Why is that? Why is that? Go down to why you want to achieve it. Okay, so when do you want to achieve it? Then, once you have that down, you can't tell everybody because everyone will not understand. It's very similar to your family. Everyone will not understand your goals. So right now, for me, when it comes to your goals, it's not about telling people your goals. It's about a specific person or persons. So as me as an accountability coach, I would know your goals and I would be checking in with you regularly and saying that, okay, let's check in once a week, let's check in every other week. But no, cannot tell everybody about your goals because people will not understand. And that's important. You gotta be sure to yourself. There may be some goals you have for your family you tell yourself. You may not even tell your wife. You may not even tell your but there are also maybe some family goals that you all share, that you and your wife will should have. There's some goals that your family will do. But it's not for everybody to know because everybody does not have your best interests at heart. Not intentionally, but unintentionally. You've got to only give it to the person or persons that can handle your goals with care, that know how precious it is. That means that if you're going to give them, tell them about you, they're going to give you feedback. But I wouldn't get to, in the whole community and say, okay, these are my goals. Some people cannot handle it. For instance, when we bought this house, my I knew people in my family, they lived in multifamily homes. And I knew that's all they could see. They couldn't see anything besides a multifamily home. 2-family, 3-family homes, buildings, apartments, that's all they could see. So when it came to us buying a house, they were like, you should buy a 3-family house, have 2 renters and all that. Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. And so what I did was I told them I was buying a house, but then anytime they asked me about it, I would change the subject. I would not talk to them about it because their thinking was at a certain level. I won't say below, it was just at a certain level. We were thinking single family. So now that when we found our house, we worked on it, we worked with people, worked with connectors, and finally we closed on it. When we closed on our house, we had the keys in hand. For 2 days we held on it. We didn't tell anybody that we had a house. It was 2 days afterwards. Why? Because they now had to deal with this is what we want. This is what we had decided, me and my wife. And we knew that they could handle it. We didn't know anybody that had anything like that. So it's important to be able to find out who specifically you can speak to that can share your goals. that make sense? Nick? Oh, good, good, good. So yes, yes. So not everybody can. You can't share your goals with everyone. You can only share your goals with a person. That's why me as an accountability coach, I work with my clients. They tell me their goals, and I work with them and say, "This is what we want to do." So if you want to talk goal setting, we can do a strategy session with me. Um, just send me a note with the word strategy. I'll send you a link where you and I can just talk about how you're going to set some goals. So, or it's free. Um, yeah, it's free. Get a plan. No pressure. That's a good question. That's a good question. So stay, hold on right there. All right. For everybody that's on LI on LinkedIn, thank you so much. Everybody that is on Instagram, I appreciate you all. I will be there tomorrow, 5 p.m. And so I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. More Nick, hold on a second. All right. See you all 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boom. Everybody up on the screen. All right. Everybody that's on YT, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Blessed.